We're back with the Menace, the newly ranked Oktagon lightweight. Menace, how we doing, man?
Good. Tired, mate. Fucking lacking sleep.
Yeah, no, that was my first question. How's life treating you being a dad now? Good and bad points.
No sleep. Fucking getting having to change clothes at 3-4 times a day because you get sick on. But it is what it is. It's rewarding. It's part of life, isn't it? It's
Absolutely.
yeah. It's all worth it in the end. Like it's all just little annoying things, but it's not like anything too major. So
No, comes with the territory, but other things recently that's working out for you now. The eye on top of lie win. Would you say from your? I know you're only still premature into your career, but it's your career best win so far, surely.
um,
Or would you disagree on that?
on paper,
Mm,
I would say yeah, because obviously he was 7-1. He was like pretty well established in Oktagon. He he was like well touted. He'd beaten a few guys. Um, I finished him. And it was satisfying to finish him, especially after he said I wasn't a finisher. But honestly, I think the Robin Frank win for me was a much more dominant performance. I didn't lose a round in that fight. I dominated every round. I absolutely ruined the guy. He hasn't fought since, no one's even heard of him since. He's gone ghost off social media and everything. So, and he was undefeated. He was 5-0. He was coming in off the back of a big KO win, a big win streak. Um, so I was able to stop that momentum and take some of his momentum a little bit. Where Arian's just, he came into that fight, had just lost to Hefeni. So he was coming in on the back of a loss. So it wasn't like, I don't know, for me anyway, I would have rathered like if Arian had beat Hefeni, he was 8-0, and then I'd beaten him that same fashion. It would have been a bit more, would have had a bit more oomph to it. But listen, a win's a win. The main thing is that you keep winning in it. So
absolutely. Well, it was definitely the fight that you wanted that brought the fire out of you, and he's the only man to take a round off you in. Fuck knows how long now. Was it since the George fight that someone's on to take a round? So that just shows the level and the growth that you've come onto now. But another thing that the level and growth is interesting is the fan base. You walked in there to a load of boos from the core of it was Albanian, but you left to a load of cheers, which you're turning more people's heads out again now, aren't you, Dennis?
that's it. And I did say after the George loss in my post-fight interview that I'd eventually turn all these haters into fans, because once they see the level I'm at, like you said, once they see the performances that I bring, once they see that I'm not just here to chat shit, I'm here to chat shit, get you interested in the fight, and then entertain you in the fight, and put on performances. I said that people would turn, they would turn their opinions around on me, and they have slowly been doing that. So you still get your little few haters. You're never going to get 100% love. So
Yeah. So, but you have been connecting with a few from Germany and stuff like that, haven't you? So it's
yeah.
good. It's good to see. So, which out of the two this year, Stuttgart and Munich, which one was your favourite fight week? Because it was two different cities, two different arenas. Obviously, the first one you was on the undercard of the Irish double champ, so bit different for both sides, weren't it?
Yeah. Obviously the last one. I think did I headline the
You
prelim?
call me. Yeah, the first one I think you headlined the prelims.
Headline
Always your first.
prelims,
Yeah,
and
you
this.
was. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. Obviously, being co-main event was massive for me. Um. The whole fight week leading up, knowing that it was co-main event was big. The weigh-ins and the just everything, all of it, like the bit of media, all of it. It was all. I just took it all in. I preferred Munich as a city. not to disrespect my Stuttgart fans, but like
Mhm.
I did prefer Munich as a city. I do have family in Munich, so it was a bit more like connecting with me extended family. But yeah, like it was. Yeah, being co-main event was obviously big. Next step is obviously your main events and your title fights and all that kind of stuff. But we're getting there. We're getting there slowly. Oktagon are starting to put that respect on my name. The fans are starting to put that respect on my name because they have no choice but to do so.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned family in Munich and stuff. They do have a card coming up in Bratislava, and your family ties there and your heritage. Would you be interested in fighting on that Bratislava card, Dench, or would you still prefer September because there's 2 or 3 in September, isn't there?
Okay, so my plan was to fight twice more in the year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in my head, my plan was to fight on the Hanover card. Because I get on with the Hanover lads. I get on with Johnny Pakalai. I get on with Max Holzer. I like the guys there. You know, fight school Hanover guys. They're all sound. They understand the game as well. So I'd like to be on the same card as them. Also, it gives me enough time between that card on the 13th of September and the Munich card in November, be able to do 2 camps back to back. And there's a certain guy I want in Munich as well. So that was my plan in my head. Obviously, things don't always go to plan. You know, Oktagon have their own plans, and God has his own plans. So if it was to be Bratislava, I wouldn't mind. It would be a change from fighting in Germany, but I do like fighting in Germany. You know, it would be hostile territory again, more than likely. But then obviously I'll have to change my plans on when I'm going to fight after that, because the 4th of October, I think, is Bratislava, and then to get back in for November, I think it's the 5th. It's like a month, so.
No, I think it's the 22nd of November, and then I think then they've got the Prague one, aren't they? 28th of December as well. So maybe, so if depending on what happens, if it does end up Bratislava, then maybe you could go to the Prague one as well. Then at least you've been everywhere as well this year. That would be a bonus. But
that is true. That is true.
But like you said, you like it in Germany at the minute, and you grow in there, and the connection with Max Holzer, it's great. Like he's one hell of a fighter, and he's got some hell of banter as well, hasn't he, man?
Yeah, he's a funny guy. Like, and this is the thing. Like, people thought I just hate every other fighter. Like I get on with some fighters that can banter. Like Attila Korkmaz, sound. You know what I mean? Like Max Holzer, like I said, sound. Them lads are sound. Even Jakub
The young kid,
yeah, sound. All these young guys that understand the game, grew up watching Conor, they understand that like this is part of the game. They all seem to not mind me. It's only these old heads, you know, these 33, 34-year-old guys are like old school. No, you must fight and be warrior, and you don't speak trash. Like it's fucking bollocks. Do you know what I mean? You know, and even like Andrei Kalashnik sound as well. You know what I mean? Funny cunt. Like I like loads of the guys on the roster. So like this whole idea that I beef everyone on the roster is bollocks. Like fucking hell, me and Katie even get on now somewhat. Do you know what I mean? On a mutual respect thing, like I actually rate his skill set. You know, so yeah. Yeah. I like you said, I wouldn't mind if it was Bratislava and Prague. That could work either. That's ideal. Obviously Prague's a bit close to Christmas. It's my first Christmas with my son, so I don't really want to have to do that. If they offer me silly money, like, will I do it? Probably. But yeah, and the right opponent as well. Obviously, if I was to fight in Munich, it'd be one top 10 opponent. If I was to fight in Prague, it'd be a different top 10 opponent. So yeah, there's options there now. You know, now I'm in the top 10. Now no one can disrespect my skill set. No one can say, oh, I'm not fighting you because of your record and all this kind of shit. You've got to fight me now. Do you know what I mean? Like, if Oktagon come to you, you've got to fight me now. So you've no excuses. Or you've just got to come out and say, I don't want to fight him. I'm a bitch, you know?
Absolutely. Right. So who is your preference then for next? Is it still Peter Gable? There's been a lot of back and forth, and then it sort of went silent from him. What can you tell us where that stage is at then?
I don't know where he's gone. Like he was all up for chatting shit back and forth a couple weeks ago. He's vanished. So maybe he's shit the bed when it's come to like Oktagon have gone, oh yeah, let's make the fight, and he's gone, oh fuck, this might actually happen now. Do you know what I mean? Like he's shit the bed. So, I wanted him. I wanted him. Obviously, a lot's changed since then. I'm now in the top 10. It sort of favors him more to fight me than it favors me to fight him.
Yeah.
So I'd still fight him if he wants to fight. But I would want him in Germany. I'd want him in neutral ground. I don't want him in his backyard. I want him in Germany. I'll obviously be the red corner if we fight in Germany. The crowd will probably be on my side if we fight in Germany. So I'd prefer that. If not, I'm sure they can find someone. I'm sure there's a German lightweight somewhere that wants to have a go. I know there's one guy in the top 10, a reverse R9. He doesn't want it till November, so I'm not waiting till November. I wanna have an active year, So I'm trying to fight before then, get a little tune up in. But yeah, look, there's options. There's fucking options. If no one else, like fucking hell, Thomas Tzaganik, I like Thomas as well. To be fair, like I like Thomas Tzaganik as well, but I fight him. If we have to fight, we fight. Like, do you know what I mean? Fucking, I'm not arse. Buki can get it on Bratislava if it wants to be Bratislava. You know what I mean? Fucking hell, like I don't know, mate. Anyone, and anyone, like everyone.
See, there is options. I'm looking ahead of you now. Bannick, number 8, Alan Owen, number 9. I think Alan Owen, I think that's because he returned after a long time, so they've just sort of done him a favour there. But the more interesting one for me,
Alan Omar won't fight me. Bannick has been saying he might want to fight me later in the year.
See, so if you look at, if we say what Peter Gable does for your career now, like you said, things have changed. So it benefits him a lot more fighting you than it does for you. So now looking ahead, you've got to be, if you look ahead now, actually wants to wait to November and he's number 7. So that's out of the way. Bogdanovic, maybe. Max Cole.
Mate, listen, yeah. Does anyone really want to see that fight like between me and Bogdanovic? Does anyone actually want to see him?
On paper, no, it doesn't. But I'm just saying, no, it doesn't. You're right. I do get that. But on paper, I'm just going off what that would do for you.
The only thing Bogdanovic benefits by him is that he's ranked ahead of me.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Korkmaz, Kolga.
Do you know what? I'd rather not fight Korkmaz because I do like him. But listen, at the end of the day, there's no friends in this industry. I'll do what Shem done. If the contract that's sent to me and it's his name on the contract, and he says he wants to fight me, then we can have a fight. Like, let's see, he just had a loss. Did he lose before that as well?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to put him on a 3-fight skid. Do you know what I mean? I actually like the guy, so like I'd rather avoid that one. I'd rather skip ahead of him and go straight to Max Koga. He's calling it Max Koga. Max Koga's nowhere to be found the last fucking year. And then obviously when you start getting into like the number 3 and 2, and it's a bit too far up for me to be calling for them just yet.
Yeah, just yet, yeah.
So who knows? Maybe a win over Peter Gabal, even though he's not ranked, can put me a bit higher in the mix, or it can at least give me the momentum now where I'm saying I'm on a 5-fight win streak now in Oktagon. I can call for someone in the top 3 because I'm on a mad win streak. But like I said, any of them cunts can get it, bro. I don't give a fuck, bro. At the end of the day, there's people I'd rather fight and there's people I'd rather not fight right now, based on personal preference. But end of the day, if someone's name gets sent to me on a contract and the money's right, fucking hell, like, business.
Absolutely. Well, at the end of the day, the number 1 and the championship is what you're going to be working towards, and so like you said, maybe not them the top 2 names yet, but you'll soon be having them coming off.
Hey, we're not far off.
Not far off. No.
One more win. 2 more wins. I'm up there, and I'm saying, listen, who's top two now? Lamalieskiev, Buchinger.
Buckingham, yeah, but Buckingham's
I
fighting.
tell you what, I'd love to fight Buchinger. I'd
I
love to
bet
fight.
you would. I bet you
I'd
would.
love
But
to fight.
he's fighting thingy, isn't he? Who
Bar-
Smullen beat on the weekend,
Barbaric.
Barbara.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
It's
like,
because
does
the
anyone want to
first
watch
one
that?
was a war, wasn't it? The first one was a war years ago. Was it for the
Does anyone
title,
want
I
to
think, as
see it
well?
anymore after what just happened?
No, it's no, not really. You don't want to revisit things like that. Like, just leave it as it is, because it's not going to be the same. It's going to be a watered down version of what they're trying to recreate, isn't it?
He just got smoked. He just got
And he's
smoked.
just been beat off another Irishman, so I know, and he did get brutally beat as well. To be fair, Smullen hammered him.
But listen, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I'm gonna be ready, and I'm gonna be on the way. After I said after this baby, I gained a bit of weight, went up to fucking silly weight. I'm now gonna be keeping myself on weight to make weight on a week, 2 weeks notice. So maybe Barbaric pulls out, and someone needs to step in. I'll step in against Bucky on short notice, happily. Like, I respect him. Like he's got what 50 plus fights. Like he's got 40 odd wins on his record, maybe
45 wins.
45 wins on his record, bro. That's more fights than I even fucking want altogether. You know what I mean? Let alone fucking, So yeah, like he's a legend of the game. Obviously, he's fought the who's who in Oktagon. He's fought like Conor McGregor. So for me, like that would be like a legacy defining fight for me. And I'd only be respectful to him. I actually wouldn't even really disrespect a guy like that, because he is actually a genuine MMA legend, not just in Slovakia and Czech Republic, but like he's a genuine MMA legend in what he's done. I do think I have the style to beat him. I think he's short for the weight division. His striking's not all that. He's good grappling. He'd be trying to get me on the ground and take me back and all that stuff. After seeing his grappling against Lengal, who I don't really rate that high, I think he's not going to sub me and I'm going to knock him out. So I like that fight. And then Lamalieskiev, again, like he's 5'9". I just watched a fight of his last night, just doing a bit of study. And he got beaten the KSW interim title fight a couple of years ago by a guy who I wouldn't even call him a B-Tech version of me. He's a fucking Y-Tech version of me, bro. Like, his teeps were shite. He wasn't as rangy as I am. He wasn't as diverse as I am. His feint work was shite. His footwork was shite. And he got beat off that guy. So I think he's a little bit overrated because of his record, because he's beat a few guys. He does have a good skill set. Like, he has some good boxing, very, like, wingy boxing. Like, he can knock you out because he's, like, winging shots. Good wrestling. So he's not afraid of, like, the threat of overcommitting on an overhand and getting took down, because he has good scrambles. I'm not going to shoot on him. I'm just going to fucking elbow his face off if he comes near me like that. But, yeah, like, obviously, the real target, the real man with the target on his back is not any of the people we've spoke about yet. It's Lozan Keita.
However, he's not going to be fighting at lightweight anymore, bro. Surely.
Who knows? Listen, he might go down to featherweight, defend the belt. He might fucking see me win 2 fights in that meantime and go, oh, fuck, that's a good fight. It's about the narrative, isn't it? Like, I first came into the promotion, he was already the champ, I believe. I think he won the belt, the lightweight belt, just before I signed to the promotion. So that'd be a narrative. Do you know what I mean? For me to have come all the way up, he's like lost the belt, gone down to featherweight, come back up, got the belt back, and now I'm fighting him. And it's 2 strikers. He knows I'm not going to fucking hug his legs. Do you know what I mean? Like, he knows I'm not coming to do that. He knows we're going to have a fucking scrap. It's going to be a kicker versus a boxer, or a diverse striker versus a fucking speedy midget. It'd be a good fight. So let's see. Maybe if that fight interests him, he would fight me. But let's see what things happen. I just need a contract in my inbox ASAP, and then we can start talking about the next future plans and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. I do think you give every single one of them in the top 10 a hell of a lot of problems, and even the champion as well. Styles make fights, man. And another style that made a great fight this weekend, as we just previously mentioned, Richie Smullen. He's got great name value in Ireland. Is that adding more to the bus, we'll call it, of trying to get you back to Ireland and put a card on there? The ticket sales surely would do well. We know what the Irish are like. They'll come out in force. Will's double champ. Richie's got a good fan base. You've got a good fan base. The likes of Aaron Abbey could get a couple of hundred over. I think it'd sell out me pretty much. But that's what they want, don't they? They want it for it to know that it's going to sell out.
They want to know for sure that it's I don't even think necessarily it has to sell out.
Yeah, just there or thereabouts.
I think it has to be economically viable. So if that means that booking the 3 Arena, like say they need to sell 60% of tickets in order to make the money back and get a little bit of a profit after paying the fighters and all that. If that's what they need to do, then we need to sell 60% of the tickets, even 70, to make sure that they come back. But yeah, I do believe with Richie involved, he is a big name in Ireland in the domestic scene. He's been around the block. He would do tickets. He's ranked number 4 now. I see that featherweight division being wide open for the likes of him. Keita's obviously a hard fight. I do believe Richie could have the style to beat Keita. His grappling is fucking elite. He's supremely underrated in the grappling department. We just saw what he did to Barbaric.
Yeah.
So yeah. If he was to go and get the belt at featherweight, I was to get the belt at lightweight. You've got a double champion, Will Fleury. There's another young kid at flyweight that I believe that could go on a run to the belt at flyweight. It's Gary Rooney, young Irish kid. Let's say like in the next year, we've got 5 belts that are held by Irish champions. Like, I don't see why we couldn't get a show in Ireland, regardless. Like, fucking hell, man. Like, so if one country's dominating the promotion, then might as well start calling Oktagon MMA an Irish promotion at that point.
No, true, very true.
But yeah, like let's see what the future holds. You know, he does still only have 1 fight in the promotion. He has now jumped into the rankings at number 4. You know, let's see what the future holds. Will Fleury could even go and get a 3rd belt, bro. He could even go down to middleweight and get that belt off fucking Engizek, I think it is. Is it Engizek?
Engizek will face Muradov for the full title.
Yeah.
But the potential of a Muradov Will Fleury fight in Dublin is fucking huge.
Insane. Insanity. So yeah, if that was the main event, you know, either me or Richie could co-main for a belt. Let's see. Yeah, like next year could definitely be doable. I have patience. You know, I've waited, but like I've waited this long. I can wait another few months or a year. But yeah, that is a big thing for me. Like, is I do want to fight in Dublin. I want to fight with a home crowd. Never fought in Dublin before. I know I do tickets. I know I did tickets in fucking Munich. So I know I do tickets in Dublin.
Yeah.
We'd need a solid card of Irish fighters there. And probably need to sign a couple more Irish fighters in order to really make it worth the while. But yeah.
Absolutely. I think to draw the interest regular, I think getting an Irish fighter on every single Oktagon card, then it's getting them to draw them into by the pay-per-view or streaming it or whatever they choose to do. But another man that's had a lot of patience with wanting to be signed is your boy, one of your best pals, is Mr. Shamrock. He has finally signed for the UFC. Now, if we look at his run, he's not had to go on a belt in Oktagon. He's just made a lot of noise, which you're good at as well. You can't be too far behind. He was only ranked number 4 when he made it to the UFC. You were only maybe 1 or 2 fights away for yourself. I know you've got plans in Oktagon as well, but the Premier League is still surely in the back of your mind.
Yeah, like, listen, if I keep winning fights and fucking I get a phone call and say, oh, do you want to fight X, Y, and Z on UFC, fucking whatever, I'd be stupid if I said no. But the difference between what Shem's done and what I've done is Shem went into Oktagon having already won 2 belts at professional. Okay. FCC, and I believe it was some promotion in London. I forget. Fights? Was it Fight Star? I'm not sure. Anyway, he'd already had 2 professional belts. I have a lot of room on my trophy cabinet. So before I ever go to the UFC, I at least want a taste of that Oktagon belt. So,
yeah, I like it.
Yeah, and I think I can get that done in the next year. And then options are open, But yeah, let's see how things play out. Like we're talking like long-term plans. Lots of shit could happen. Do you know what I mean? Fucking hell, Keita could retire tomorrow and or go UFC, and then it's a completely different conversation because it's like,
yeah.
Then it's a different title fight. It's who the fuck knows what's going to happen at that point.
A lot can change in the fight game very quickly, Dennis. But yeah, I'm excited for the future now, and for Shamrock's future. Have you seen him having back and forth with that Matt Favola? He called him out straight away. There's a couple of names there in the foreign, but off the top of your head, anybody? Because that lightweight division is stacked, isn't it? So anybody that takes your fancy for him?
I think it's stacked in like the top 10. And there's a lot of guys outside the top 10 that Shem and I would smoke, to be quite honest. Like I said, it's picking your poison, isn't it, though? Like, Shamrock is going to grapple fuck a lot of those guys. He's going to take their backs and choke them. I think, like you said, Matt Favola is a good fight. Jordan Levitt is a good fight for him. What's that fucking Drew Dober? Good fight. Shem might actually break the curse of Drew Dober beating all black fellas, because Drew Dober will probably think Shem's white and take it easy on him, and then Shem will smoke him and be and he'll realize that he's actually black. But yeah, I think even Terrence McKinney's a good fight for him, and a lot of hype, a good game to build off. Yeah, lots of options from there. I'm just excited to see who they actually put in front of him. And I'm excited to see him grab that microphone in the cage after he wins and talk his shit.
Absolutely. Terrence McKinney's an interesting one. We mentioned that on our podcast yesterday. And yeah, that's an interesting one. But yeah, the world is his oyster now. He's in the Premier League. And Dennis, thank you very much for taking the time out to chat. I'll let you get back to family daddy duties. I hope you get some kit.
Nice.
Take care, mate.
I'll try tonight. Nice one, lad. Appreciate it.